Okay. Hi. Hey, Kuya.
Yo,
How are you?
I'm good, brother. How are you? A little
Good,
bit of a
good.
headache, but I got some water. Thank you for allowing me to grab some water before we started it up.
I love these conversations because A, I never know where it's gonna go, but B, it's good to just have a conversation with
Hell yeah.
yeah. Where did you get that hoodie that you got going on?
Dude, I've had this for forever. Um, Cobra, if y'all don't see it.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Lloyd. I appreciate that comment. I don't know, dude, but I've been a G.I. Joe fan a long time. So when I see G.I. Joe merch, as it were, or
Uh-huh.
at least, has the logo branding. Oh, hey, I pick it up. So I don't recall where I picked this up at, but psyched that I still have it and that it still fits because I've had this for probably a decade.
Whew. Whew.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
How was your week, man? Do anything exciting?
Um, dude, setting up the place. Halloween is the time of the year. One of my favorite holidays. Love to decorate. My wife loves to decorate for like the holidays, specifically, like Christmas, Thanksgiving, all that type of holiday fare. So when it comes to October, it's kind of like the kickoff, and she knows how much I used to love it as a kid. So I have a ton of scary decorations. We turned the front yard into a graveyard.
I remember.
I have all the little fake tombstones. Some that I buy every year, the little foam ones that we can put out just to make it have like a lot of graves. There's some that I have cut from wood that my parents made that I inherited from them because they used to decorate heavily. That's where I get it from. Is they would go all out for Halloween. I have like PVC piping where we stuff it with bodies, put clothing on it, make it look like people are in the yard. So we decorated a little bit. That was this weekend. Finishing it out a little bit, throwing up the blow ups. We have like a bunch of ghouls. So we go all out.
Do you
decorating for Halloween?
Do you just go to like Spirit Halloween at like after like on the 1st or the 2nd and just buy everything at like 30%?
That is a thing I do at the end of every Halloween is Spirit Halloween to get more gear for the following Halloween. Yes, I do that.
So like just go in there and be like, hey, listen, I'm ready to drop a guap. Let's make a deal. Let's get this cleaned up.
I should because there's a few like a year or two ago when Spirit started doing Ghostbusters merch. They did the demon dog, the demon dog from Ghostbusters, and they actually have a life-size demon dog. And but they sold out I think of a majority of them, and the ones that they had were messed up. Although I would have loved to take a look to just see how messed up it was. So like, if you can shave off a couple of dollars, but they're like, I think $700 a pop for those demon dogs, dude. Because they're like life-size, big foam pieces. Yeah, man. But they were super cool.
And even at 70% off, that's still like $200 or something.
I'd do it for those though.
Yeah.
But but then you're talking to you know who you're talking to. I don't mind that shit.
You still haven't shipped me. You still haven't told me how much you selling that gauntlet for.
Oh shit. I know, right? I've been so caught up, dude. It's still here. It's not gone anywhere.
I know, like, listen, when I buy, I want to be the first person to buy stuff from you. So I'm when you said I'm going to send you a card with a clean dollar on it. It just says to Kuya P, best of luck.
Yo, you know what I've also been meaning to do is because, we are in the, October timeframe and all these podcast recordings. I was thinking about, because again, I have so much stuff out there. Because again, I raid Spirit Halloweens, like you said, I'm one of those guys. That's not half of my Halloween stuff. I have a full moving clown that I was thinking about setting up shop right behind me over here in this corner. So I could just have it in here. I have a Chucky doll that I was going to put on another side just to theme it up a bit for these podcast recordings, but I've been fucking busy as hell that I haven't yet.
You mean Pennywise?
Pennywise, yes. Pennywise.
Yeah, let's
Hey, look at you. Look at you, actually, man.
You know what? That reminds me. So Stephen King lives in Bangor, Maine. And
Yes.
most of his Castle Rock universe is written in Maine.
Mhm.
And last time we talked, I found out that you spent time in Maine.
Yeah.
And guess who spent time in Maine? This guy.
Okay. Whereabouts in Maine?
Kennybunk Port.
Okay.
So basically the second exit off of the freeway when you enter Maine.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Small
where I
world.
ended up going to high school.
Wow, for real.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
So I am super familiar with that area, and you, I come going to school in a small town. You know, you just kind of join some of these Facebook groups, and one of the topics was in this Facebook group was like, you know, the Christopher Columbus Indigenous People Day, and I find it strange that people today still are like, oh, you know, Christopher Columbus, let's respect the day. It's still, you know, whatever, it's tradition. And coming from Maine and New England, like everything is named after indigenous people or names the indigenous people gave it. I don't know why we're fighting calling it Indigenous People Day. Like it blew my mind.
Yeah. Crazy. Man, I'll never forget when I left Maine. So I went to elementary school there. Grew up
Really?
I lived there for 4 years on Acadia National Park, which was right
Wow.
on the coastal town of Winter Harbor.
Yep.
Not too far from, the Stephen King, was from that area. But yeah, I lived there for 4 years. But one of the things I'll never forget is when we moved from Maine to Gulfport, Mississippi, was my dad's second to last duty station. Actually, no, that was his last duty station because Maine was his last duty station. Hold up. No, I think second last because we went to Charleston, South Carolina.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
went
we
to high
lived there
school.
for 4 years on Acadia National Park. But I'll never forget when we went to just basically travel south from the New England states. They're like, be careful down there. There's it was a white dude, that you got to be careful for those Southerners or whatever. But then he said something racist, I think, out his mouth as well.
Yeah,
I'm like,
keep an eye on your
really?
Oriental wife.
Like, yeah, I'll never forget, man. And that same dude, we would get wintertime, like nuts and, like they have like nuts, holiday nuts and stuff like that. I'll never forget there's like this bag of nuts and all the different kinds of nuts. But there was this like, I think specifically a walnut, but that isn't what he called it. It had the term of N toes, the N word toes is what he described that nut. And I've never forgotten that. And it was just like, here he's talking, be careful, they're racist for you Asian ching chongs or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Is he's telling me, an Asian kid, be careful with racism, as he's saying the most racist shit out of his mouth as he's saying this, right?
Yeah. So
and then
backwards.
He's the same cat that I remember him talking about the nuts that I had, because I think my dad had gave me some nuts, and he talked about that one specific. Can I have that ento?
Yeah.
I was like, what did he just call that nut?
Yeah.
N-word toe?
I'm 9 and I realize that's a bad idea. Yeah.
I was that age. I was like around 10, 11, I think, at that time too. So yeah, you're not too far from how old I was when I was there.
It's so strange.
Shocking, right?
Yeah. I mean, I will say my experiences in Maine and New England in general, like being an Asian male, like I experienced racism, but not like in an overtly way. Like it was racism like that. Like it's thrown in casual conversation, and not that it's better. It was just like I was never really sought out after because I was Asian, and then they wanted to do racist shit. They're like in casual conversation, just a lot of racist shit.
Yeah.
Where in the South, my experiences in the South, the exact opposite. Like the manners, great. Like Charleston, South Carolina. Hey, how are you? We don't like those chinks. And you're like, it's the exact opposite. It was so mind blowing.
Yeah. It's crazy shit.
Arcadia National Park. That's wild. So there was a naval base up there.
It was a naval air station, basically a listening post. In every corner of this, it comes from the old, listening in, when US was trying to like listen in on Russia or whatever, but we'd have like these stations or bases to just listen in, it was like listening posts, big old antenna. and they would listen to what's going on overseas and shit like that.
Yeah, because the radio waves would only go so far.
Exactly,
so,
right?
Yeah.
It comes from the crazy time period of the US, bro. And yeah, that's why they converted it. That base didn't last long. It's now I think at last check, because I want to take my family up there to visit and enjoy Lobster Festival from the memories I've had. Remember? I think they turned it into an artist colony.
Okay.
That's owned by the state now. Maine owns that former military base.
So same time period around, Cold War era, putting bases out there. There's a few bases they call them Nike bases, right? Where they're missile silos.
Yes.
And
yes.
There is one that I want to buy so bad because it's not expensive. It's like $400,000, but it's a missile silo underground in Maine, out by like Caribou, like out by Canada. And I think about this every day, where it goes like 300 feet underground, and there's like 300,000 square feet of living space, and you go, I could turn this into something.
Yeah, I've seen those. So, and you see it on shows, like those doomsday prepper type people that buy those out stuff too. I do find it fascinating. I think it's kind of interesting. My wife would kill me. I'm sure your wife would kill you too. I don't know, but it's fascinating.
My wife is tropical, so she's like, we go to Maine to visit my mom. My mom retired in Maine, but we only go like late spring or early fall. Summer, mosquitoes, you can keep it. Winter, snow, you can keep it. I kind of want to go just for like a weekend, like a week in a log cabin, in the snow, but she ain't having it.
You ever go to Moosehead Lake? We used to vacation at Moosehead Lake.
When I was a kid,
I remember going to Ellsworth, and where I would go to the mall there and buy all my He-Man and G.I. Joe at the mall there.
At KB Toys. Montgomery Ward,
KB Toys. I'm so old.
Yeah.
But good memories. Good memories of visiting Ellsworth and the mall there.
The great thing about those areas, like those small rural pockets, like in Maine and in small town states, is like it's a time zone difference. Sure, it's noon here, but it's still 1985 there. Like people still go to the mall and still hang out at corner stores.
Yeah, so wild.
Have you been back late? Like,
no, not since we left. Not ages. Not since the 80s, dude.
If it's a great place to go, and especially it's the southern part, Kennebunk, Wells, Ogunquit, like that area, Kittery, York, that first two exits, it's all tourist attraction. So you can actually go and get great food and have a really good time, especially off season between Labor Day and today. Things are still open. Great. You can go here's the thing about Maine. You can go to the grocery store and you can get a lobster for like $5, $6 a pound.
Yeah.
And you go, well, I don't know how to cook it. They'll boil it for you. You can go home with hot lobsters in a bag.
The best. That's why I want to take them up there for Lobster Fest. I think like a good 3-4 day weekend type trip would be nice.
And you can't really fly into Maine. I mean, you can, but not really. You fly into Boston, you rent a car, you hang out in Boston for a day or two, and then you drive up the coast. An hour and a half, you're in Maine.
Yeah. From
where you are is probably another 3 hours. About 3 hours from New Hampshire.
Oh, okay.
So like from when you get to New Hampshire to where you were from.
I have to drive from where I'm at.
Oh, from where? Oh, that's far.
I thought you were talking driving from Boston an hour.
Yeah.
Right?
So if you fly into Boston, you can be in Maine in an hour and a half, and then from the border of Maine to where you are, Arcadia Park, you're looking at like 3-ish hours or so.
Oh, it's that far away?
It's pretty far. It's pretty far. If you were to drive from your house, it's like 12 hours.
Yeah.
It's not fun. I've done Silver Spring to Maine. It's a fucking hike.
Oh, you drove from Silver Spring to that? Yeah, I gotta look into that.
New York
I don't want to drive. I don't want to. It's a vacation. I want to just fly, not worry about shit.
Yeah, fly into Boston.
Very many big airports, right?
Yeah.
So
Boston, fly into Logan, spend a day or two in Boston, see the sights, Freedom Trail, all of that, and then just drive up.
but then it's 3 hours because I want to take them to Acadia. I want to take them to where
Yeah.
I was at, but
Yeah.
then that's another 4 hours. So couldn't there be like a small plane flight?
I guess so, but I mean,
Go to-
yeah, that's right. You you got comic book money.
This guy.
You can fly. I mean, there's small regional airports, but I
Yeah.
mean, I think the last time I tried to fly from Boston to like Portland, Maine,
Yeah.
it's like a 15-minute flight. And it was going to cost me like $200. Yeah. I mean, if you got it like that, go for it. I'm just saying. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have comic book money. I got dick jokes in a room full of strangers, VFW small town USA money.
I'll look into it. But yeah, it's something I want to do. Something I want to do. Show them where I grew up at and nostalgic memories of going blueberry hunting. Just going picking wild blueberries. You know what I'm saying?
Apple picking.
True. That too.
Apple picking. Apple
we do
cider.
that here locally as well.
Really?
Yeah, the Winchester, Virginia, that is known for their apple orchards, and my daughter does that a lot with my wife and everything. So, yeah.
Okay.
But blueberry picking, lobster fest. Yeah, I just want to kind of show them kind of where I was raised and just also just the coastline, man. You ever go to like the main coast? I'm sure you have. You know, we used to go with my dad. It used to be as scary as fuck. That's a memory I have with my dad back then. But this was also at a time period when I didn't like my dad, because he was always away and shit. But it was scary as fuck. We would go on those rocky cliffs of Maine, right? And go fishing. And here's this 10-pound boy. Oh, I think I got one, but here, Dad, because I'm not holding onto that damn pole. But just being on rocky coastline fishing and just being scared out my goddamn mind. But it was an interesting experience, though. Just those. It's something to see too, to see that visual. It's beautiful, but it's also scary as fuck.
Yeah.
You know, that coastline.
I mean, I have a healthy fear of the ocean, not being in it, but just like staying on the seacoast, a beachfront property. Like on any given day, I feel like it would just swallow you whole and not even with no warning.
Yeah.
You know, because when you go, especially at night, you go out at night, you can hear the ocean. It's 10 feet away from you and you can't see it. You know, like that shit is frightening.
Yeah.
Definitely go though. Definitely go. Like I recommend going somewhere between Labor Day and between Labor Day and Columbus Day.
Gotcha.
Indigenous People Day.
Yeah. Get it right.
Yeah, I'll just say.
Yeah, man. Yeah, some fond memories. I'll never forget. You're making some memories flow back. Going to a corner store, and they had all the Mego superhero toys. I remember being a kid going into like one of these convenience stores. And they had like all the Mego. Remember the 70s superhero figures? But it was like they were kind of like Barbie dolls. And they'd have like cloth clothing and plastic heads. And they were pretty big. Yeah, and they were in like little boxes and stuff. Yeah. And I just remember being at one when I was a kid and they had every single one, but I never collected any of them, or my mom never bought me any of them. And I just remember seeing that I could have had them all, you know, because I know how much they are worth now. And
how much are they worth now?
They're worth a pretty penny, man. But you know, and it was very famous. The Migos became even more famous when Robot Chicken started doing episodes. Remember Robot Chicken? Because they would use essentially all the Migo toys as the animated parts of Robot Chicken. Hold on, I'm pulling up. Oh, Migo with a E. Yeah, MEGO. But okay, hold on. Yeah, I think Robot Chicken can attribute to the collective nature of the old Migo figures. I do remember these. Yeah. That's right. They used to have them all, man, and I didn't get any of them. My mom didn't buy me any of those, but I was like, man, I wish I had those. Just remember seeing them. And since then, you have been buying everything. I have everything else. You know, one more thing that I am having a hard time because I don't have the time to sell it. Yeah, so I don't really need it, but I just remember seeing it. I mean, you might as well just buy it, right? Just buy them at cost. Buy them at whatever they cost right now. Look at it, take a picture of it, and then sell it. I don't need to buy it. I can just look at it like you just did. Oh, I remember that. Okay, good memory. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
I think I was looking at something. I was looking at like
you see these things in stores, right? And like, oh,
yeah.
I could have had that. I had it right there in front of me, but I didn't buy it at the time, and now it's worth something.
But then also, but back then, like you would have played with it, like you would have taken it out of the box. Yeah. I didn't have anyone in my life to be like, oh, here's two. You know, we're gonna put one away. And you go ahead and play with this one, and then let me take all of the guns and all the little pieces, and we'll put them in a plastic bag and save it for you because you're gonna lose it. Yeah, I never had that. So I've had all of these Star Wars figures, G.I. Joe, like, and I'm looking at it in the box. They're like $1,200 or something. And I go, oh no, I had that. The Luke Skywalker with the yellow lightsaber. I had that.
Yeah.
I had that. And that was the asshole that, like, within an hour, I was trying to figure out how to pull the lightsaber out of the arm altogether. Like, I'm that dick.
Yeah, I can say I remember doing that shit. Yep, because it just had like the little thing and you just yank it all the way out there.
Yeah, just take it when you had to bend it just a little bit to like pull it out.
Fucking up the G.I. Joes, right?
Yeah.
Where you take the little screw out the back and then you switch the heads out the arms and switch around with other figures. But then what would suck is the rubber band that was in the inside that will hold the legs off, that would break apart. And then you'd have to like jury rig another rubber band, and that wouldn't work the same. It sucked ass
because you had to keep on wrapping it until like it hurt, and then try to screw it.
Never the same, dude. Yeah, bro.
So I look at all of these things and I just go, yeah, I owned it. And my wife's like, oh, you should have kept it. I was like, yeah, it'd be worth nothing. You know how many magnifying glass burn, like melting parts of it, like all of them.
Yeah, I remember doing that shit too. Not too much. That was more the white kids. I see them. You're burning your shit. Hell no. I'd let them burn their Joes, and I'll just watch you do that shit.
Like, you burn all of the ones that like didn't matter. That medic, burn the medic.
Doc.
Yes.
Burning Doc. Damn. You need a Doc, man. But no, it was just crazy shit that we would do as kids, man. Just wild out.
Speaking of which, how is your cataloging of the selling of your stuff?
There's nothing new to report on that front. I've been so caught up and busy and life that we haven't returned to that at the moment. So it's just all sitting on the pool table. You've been to the house. I have where we left off. Boxes underneath from when we started the bagging and boarding, ready to go bags to start the bagging process again. Boards all sitting on top of that hockey table right now. Well, not here, pool table right now. So it's stagnant. The process is slowed.
Have you thought about starting the consignment?
Yes, when we have our conversations, I think right now mentally it's all about just bagging and boarding at the moment. Going through them, just ensuring that they're all protected at the least at the moment.
Right.
And after that's done, prepped. Because as we're doing it, I'm separating out as well. So I'm separating Marvel, DC, Independent. So I think like that's where I am in my mental space right now. Is once that is done, then we'll get together. I'll pull the major ones out, which I'm somewhat doing as well, though. I would say so.
Touch them.
Then it's just really about this day hit up either consignment or look these up, start listing them, and getting the ball rolling. But I think right now where it stands is, and speaking with my wife because she's assisting me with this, is hey, let's just bag and board it right now, and then we'll just bag and board.
I think if you're bag and board and sort, it'll cut down the work because you're already touching it, right? Yeah. So I think just a thought would be what I would do is I wouldn't even separate it by Marvel, DC, Independent. I would go worth a lot of money, worth not a lot of money, and then stuff I have to look up. And not so much you have to look up as in like, oh, it might be worth, whatever your dollar amount is. Anything over, let's say $25. I know this is probably over 25. Let me put this in this middle box, but everything else where you go 510, 20, whatever, put that all in a pile or all in a box so you can drop it off on consignment. Also what I would probably do to cut down the touching of it, the processing of it, is take a picture, board it, bag it, board it, take a picture of it, and then whichever, and I don't know, somehow note where it's going to go. Because you're going to need that for the consignment. You go, oh, I've consigned these 300 comic books. And you know, if a couple end up missing, it's not great, but at least it's you can figure out how well you trust the comic book store.
I feel that. Yeah, just
But
yeah, I think yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that. I'll definitely have that when we get back into that process again. I think also the reason why, again, like you're saying, I do like the idea separating out value, but I think I'm not even in the mindset to know the value at the moment because again, I don't know how much things have changed. I haven't really looked at values. I've been
right,
just I was just collecting and just stockpiling, and I kind of want also because I know I have probably complete runs of stuff. That's
Ooh,
why I'm separating Marvel DC out. So then
yeah,
I'll know if I have a run because then I could sell a complete run, and that'll garner a greater price than singled
right.
out. You know what I'm saying? Separate it. If I sell it as one big run, that'll garner me more money.
No,
When I
for
do so.
sure, for sure.
Yeah,
But also, you like touching it less. You want to touch it less. Where you go,
yeah,
here's the complete set.
yeah.
Let me just clean my hands of how many is in a run? 10, 15?
Well, it depends how long the the
Gotcha.
series ran. Yeah, yeah. Like separate shit. Marvel's on. Certain runs of Black Panther have been around for a while. I think Superman or Batman just had his 500th issue. So it
So
just
that's a run. Like
yeah,
500 issues could be a run.
yeah,
Fuck.
exactly. Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah. G.I. Joe. Think I went. Well, the first run from Marvel went 163 issues, and that's a weird number. You know what I'm saying? So you just never can tell
Right,
when
right,
an
right, right, right.
issue series how long it's going to be.
And I guess my question is like, so you go to like, let's say in this case, episode 163, and that's a run. Would the next one, even though it's like a different story arc, or would it be 164, or is it just literally like a
Well,
rename?
it's funny you mentioned that. So like there was several GI Joe series after the Marvel run ended because Dark Horse got the license, Image got the license, Devil's Due
Mm,
got the license. So they started off with a new number one,
gotcha.
and it didn't continue on the story. So that's kind of considered its own separate, different series and different runs of the title. But
Right.
then when IDW, which is another publishing house, picked up the GI Joe series, they continued on from 163 and started 164.
Huh.
So Marvel did that first 163, 164, and onward is now IDW. They continued
Hmm.
it on that same storyline. So it can change up like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's interesting how that all turns out. And so, sometimes, it depends on the collector. I want,
Yeah.
okay, you sell me G.I. Joe. I'm expecting to also have this, who knows?
Yeah, but also like if you can sell, a run of 12 or 100 at once that you have, it's like, hey, because you're gonna be stuck with that one copy that everybody has that you can't get rid of. It's like, hey, just get it out, sell
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's
So
good.
not too many updates on that because I've just been overwhelmed and caught up with so many other things. But it is on the front runner. I won't get my pool table back unless I clear that stuff out.
I
So
mean, it's only a matter of time before you sell the pool table.
hey, are you giving me a hint? You want my pool table?
No, I want your Infinity Gauntlet. That still hasn't showed up. So I mean,
Yeah. I'm actually half contemplating because I rarely play pool. I played more air hockey. This was kind of my thing when I first bought it, the pool table too. I'm like,
you're still a bachelor
no, I had it before.
in your mind.
Yeah. No, I still want this area. My downstairs is for people, company, and enjoying shit, and or I've also been contemplating arcades because I already have the arcade in there.
Mm-hmm.
Think about
Mm-hmm.
adding some more of the arcade one-up arcade stuff. That's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother animal.
How many ideally, like forget the logistics of it all. How many would you have and which ones would you buy?
Arcade,
Yeah.
full on arcades. Well, there's a what is the name of this? Because I have two of them.
One that's got both of them have multiple games on them, right?
Yes, one of them is a refurbished Marvel versus Capcom cabinet that has the Pandora box thing in there, which has all the games
Right.
from because it's a board. But then I have the another one up. I don't even think it's not. I don't think it's called one up. But there's this other cabinet that's Marvel that I got that has nothing but Marvel games on it. That's like 5 games on it. But that same company, it's fucking me up that I can't think of the name of it right now. Is it Arcade One Up? Yeah, Arcade One Up is the company that is now putting out, and you can look this up too, brother, if you want to check it out. But Arcade One Up is a company that puts together smaller cabinets,
Yeah,
not your full size like the other one
which
that
is
I have.
annoying. Just
Yeah.
freaking annoying. Because you're gonna buy
So
the riser to put it on top because it's too
yes,
small.
the riser.
So
Yeah.
dumb.
So I have a Marvel one, but they have a Star Wars one, which has like all the Star Wars games on it. There's an NBA Jam One Up cabinet. I just recently saw the other day. There's a Killer Instinct cabinet that they have that they're rolling out.
Combo breaker.
A shooter one that has with a shooting thing on it. So I kind of want to have like all the little different styles, even though I have all these games consolidated and on console with all the other peripherals there that I don't really need it. So it doesn't make any sense. But
well, I mean, I just figure it might be worth something in a few years and we could turn around and sell it.
I don't see this man right here. But yeah, man, it just takes me back to my childhood, and I just like having those options available for when I have guests for them to play. But I don't really need to have a full arcade in my downstairs.
I played one of them at a bar. They had a bunch at a bar that I was at, and it feels small. And I know that I'm an adult now, and I mean, I'm bigger than what I was when I was playing Street Fighter, but it just felt small. It felt tiny. It felt like it didn't feel like an occasion. You know, when you go to an arcade, you go to the grocery store and there's an arcade, and like you're playing kind of like this, like at an upward angle. And it just felt there was some nostalgia that I just didn't receive when I was playing it at this bar, and it kind of disappointed me.
I got you.
Yeah, but I would say that I would go Street Fighter. And it didn't. I don't care which version. I don't need the additional versions. Just the original one, the Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition.
Yeah.
That one. NBA Jam.
Yeah.
Blitz. NFL Blitz.
Yes.
That was always a fun game. And what's that dungeon crawler one? Gauntlet.
Gauntlets. Yes. Gauntlet was the shit.
Yeah.
See.
And I think for frustration, just for pure frustration, just retro look and nostalgia, Dragon's Lair. I don't think I could play it.
Yeah. Yeah. They have an NBA Jam cabinet all on its own. They have to do an NFL Blitz one. They got to get the license to that to do that one. The fighting games, I have like the main cabinet that I have all the fighting games on there, so I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, I would just I just want those different experiences and like a racing one or a sit down one. You know what I'm saying? That would be cool to just have those kind of options.
Which racing one?
I've thought about that, like cruising or something. Like we even talked about cruising on our weekly show. Just one of those where you can just sit down and have fun, man. Or even one of the motorcycle ones, man. That would be cool. But like, I don't. Why? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because those are big.
Yeah, exactly. That's part of it.
And I think that it would be only a matter of time if you had Cruising USA, listen to that theme song for that 30 seconds every minute and a half. You're like, just pull that shit out of the wall. Cruising.
Yeah.
I would love to play NBA Jam or Blitz with updated, like if you could connect to your Wi-Fi and just downloadable content. I know you're horrible with downloadable content. I keep it up to date all the time.
I need to be better at that, man. I need to be better at that. Yeah.
So what have you been watching? What have you been?
Oh yeah. So I know we were supposed to do Infernal Affairs, but again, I've been caught up. I've been busy. I definitely will give it a look, man. I remember it. I saw it a long time ago, but I do need to catch up on it again. I know the Gringos took The Departed and made that kind of based on our Infernal Affairs, but I will return to Infernal Affairs and check it out. But since then, what's been all over the internet, we talked a little bit about it on our weekly show, bro. But Squid Games, I was seeing all the uproar. Then come to find out, as I was getting ready to watch it, my daughter, Dad, you're not watching Squid Games? You should be. I'm already like on episode 4. I'm like, what? Who said you could watch Squid Games? I didn't say you could watch Squid. What are you doing watching Squid Games? Just like all my friends are watching Squid Game, Dad. I'm checking out. I'm like, you need to talk with me and mommy before you start just watching a show like that. I was kind of pissed off. I ain't gonna lie. But what could I have already done? She just watched it. It's.
I mean, I'm not a parent, and I can't.
It kind of took me by surprise that she did that. And
I think this is kind of the weird age where kids are just.
I got a teenager now, bro.
Yeah. How old is she now?
13. Yeah. So it's like, I can't be mad at her. I was 10 watching fucking Freddy Krueger and shit. Worse stuff than her, right?
Faces of Death.
You know, exactly. So I was like, all right, fuck it. There wasn't much to say.
Yeah.
She had already was on episode 4.
Right.
I hadn't even seen episode 1 yet.
And then you saw episode 1, and you're like, what
the
are
hell? So yeah,
did you
man.
Finish?
Huh?
Did you finish it?
I did. So
Okay.
I finally finished it last week. I know late compared to everybody else. The rest of the world has already seen it, but I finally finished it last week, and yeah, man, I can see why everybody's enjoying it. Shout out to my boys Edward Hong and Ruben Wee, who did the English dub version.
Dope.
Got to do that, although a lot of uproar is happening about, you know, the English dub. But, you know, as a fan of foreign films, of course I was going to watch it in its regular voiceover. But I'm happy for my friends that got to do the English versions in that regard, that they actually cast Koreans, although Ruben is Filipino, but they cast voices of us to do the voice acting instead of a bunch of gringos to do the voice acting. So
and
I'm excited about that my people's at work.
The accents that they put, just a little bit of spice on it, not enough to be like awkward. I think my biggest frustration with movies is like, oh, I understand that everyone's speaking English because nobody wants to read subtitles. So as opposed to doing it in a different language, everyone, like when in those movies, or like in those scenes in those movies. But I hate the fact that when everyone's speaking English, knowing that nobody's speaking English, everyone speaks English with an accent.
Yeah,
like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But I liked how they did it just enough. Like the old guy had just enough of an accent, just a touch, a little bit of spice, a little bit of flavor. And I like the fact that we were on their radar, you know, as far as like, let's do the right thing. If all things are the same, let's just hire some people of color. Yeah. I was happy for that.
And shout out to Netflix for trying, because I know I'm part of and I don't know if you are as well, but there's a voiceover list called the PGM, the People of the Global Majority voiceover list that's on Facebook. It's created in Google, and I think there's like a website, but Edward Hong, who was one of the over actors in that, he's the one that started it. He's also part of the Nerds of Color, which I'm part of as well. And I'm a part of that PGM voiceover list. And from what I understand, they hired a lot through that list. And since then, now going forward, when they're looking for characters of color, they're going to go to our list. So hopefully your boy will get called up if they're looking for Tresse or something, which a lot of my friends are on Tresse. But yeah, man, so they're at least trying, and I props to Netflix for at least trying. That's all we can ask at the moment.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem. Really, nothing for the voiceover portion of it stood out to me. Yeah. You know, I think especially coming from the Kung Fu flick era, we are in this weird predicament of nobody wants to read subtitles. Everyone wants dubs, but nobody wants dubs. And then you can't have a dub that matches the voice or matches the mouth movement and have authentic or accurate translations. Yeah. But then everyone's going to make fun of you if you have accurate translations and the mouth doesn't match up with the voice.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. It's crazy predicament.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows that stupid hack joke about how the voice indeed, you know, like such a hack joke. But watching it, I watched it in the dub version because I kind of left it on the background and I just didn't have the attention span to read the subtitles.
Yeah. Nothing
stood out to me that was really horrible. So
yeah, I didn't mind it. It was that whole controversy thing, as the fact that I was aware that they hired, you know, at least when they did to do the dubs, that they hired us, that they did that. So that was like, you know what, fuck it. So I'm cool either way. However people want to consume it, you know, I'm just loving now that people are watching our shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's just going to increase eyes and hopefully, you know, future projects to come that way. So
I'm really impressed with the storytelling of it, where if we watch enough movies, you realize that everything is kind of the same, right? All the American movies, it's like it's the same scenario, a little bit different spin, same hero's journey, same context, same everything. And if you feel like you keep on getting the same movie, it's because you are. And when you watch movies that are written by Koreans in Korean, in Korea, for Koreans, it's like you're getting this crazy different visual effect. Visuals are different. The storytelling is different. The story arcs are different. And it's got to tell the people up top something, right? Like we're tired of watching the same thing.
Yeah. So why don't you break down the story, bro? Squid Game.
Okay. Squid Game. So apparently Korea is having this crazy epidemic of debt, and it's not like credit card debt as much as it is like loan shark debt. So it follows the story of this guy who is kind of a deadbeat, lives with his mom in his 50s. He's in his high 40s, low 50s, and he's living with his mom who's, way past retirement age, and he's a degenerate gambler, just can't win, trying to see his daughter, ends up taking out more loans, taking on this debt where he's never going to be able to repay. And he gets approached by this guy who's like, hey, you want to play a game? And he's like, super skeptical. It's a kid's game. I'm not familiar with it, but it was a kid's game. And the guy was like, well, I'll give you a lot of money for every time you win. And he wins money. And then he gets invited to another game. He gets abducted, so to speak, and brought into with another 57 players. And it ends up 56
because he was 456.
Yeah, 456 other players to win. Ends up being like $40 million, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
But it's a game to the death. Nobody knows it's a game to the death until people start dying. And it's all kids' games. Red light, green light.
Marbles.
Yeah, that's right. Tug of war.
Yeah.
But it's in, I guess, ultimate hopscotch. if you think about it, right?
Yeah, right.
It was interesting. It was very, very interesting. I enjoyed it because it was a different story. It was like Hunger Games, but way different.
Yeah, I enjoyed it because, again, it's something that's it's relatable. It was compelling, the presentation, but what it also hits it hard because it's sad as fuck, and it just speaks on the desperation of the world and society. And I think I like it because then it paints a picture and it makes people see the what's noticeably wrong with the world.
Yeah.
And well, at least you hope that people pick up on that. And that's why, like, when I found out that my daughter saw it, I was like, okay, we need to sit and after I watched it, I was like, this is not real. And that, it's talking about just how desperate people are in circumstances and things are. So that's the conversation I had with her. When I found out and I finally saw it, about what she was watching. And
that's crazy.
And just appreciating what you have, because, a lot of people, you would understand that the young man didn't appreciate what he had, and he wanted to do why he went into the game was to take care of his daughter because he lost everything in it, So we had those kind of conversations to just kind of break those characters down, and tell me what did you like about the character? She was like, oh, the Indian brother, the Pakistani guy. She was like, he was so nice. And you said what happened to him, and he got cheated out by the guy, she was pulling for him. So, she understood, the good qualities of certain characters. And then she was happy when the crazy woman took out the dude with the snake on his face, he was an evil guy, but so we kind of learned and taught in that. It was what I did in that route, in that arena as a parent, because she saw this. But
that's wild in the having to interpret and reinterpret and convey these life lessons. That's super heavy. Like, yeah.
That's what I had to do because my daughter already checked it out. So I was like,
right.
I want to just chat with you a little bit, what you're seeing. Because before this, she hadn't, unless she's done it without me knowing, has seen anything like this.
Okay. So this is kind of, this is
me,
surfaces of death.
Yeah. I wanted to sit with her for a second and just like, okay, you understand what you were watching. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And she understood.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
But heavy. And, I think it's weird to say I like shows like this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's such, you hate to see people be in desperation, right? Or at least you don't want this to be the entertainment that we should consume like this. But then I think it's an important part of entertainment to teach certain lessons that the rest of the world aren't understanding in general, or not even glossing on. You know what I'm saying?
I think when we do see these things, it's framed in a dystopian place, where it's relatable, but like 3 or 4 degrees relatable, like Walking Dead, right? That's kind of what it is. It's like people are desperate, they'll do a lot of things. That's kind of this parallel, but yet we kind of disassociate ourselves with it because it is zombie apocalypse. Like, okay, when the zombies come, I am mentally prepared. But when you watch this, it's like nothing is out of the realm of possibility. And I think that brings it closer to our doorstep.
Yeah. But what also scares me with films like this is kind of like you saw from Walking Dead, you know, you get doomsday preppers that all of a sudden, you know, that aren't the uneducated folk, right? So like if you were to go down south when I would, because my parents live in South Carolina, man, you watch The Walking Dead, you know what I'm saying? And they just, if there's a zombie apocalypse, I'm ready to take these motherfuckers out. I know where I'm going to go, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, thinking bro, that shit is fake as fuck. Yeah. There'll never be a zombie apocalypse. Like these doomsday prepper type mentality type mindsets and how people get crazed out because of these type of entertainment, if you will, they take it to other levels. And so, you know, we were talking earlier about scary movies and like Michael Myers and shit, you know, that shit's fake as fuck, but it's the real shit like Scream that you were saying, where that could be reality. That could be real shit. I wouldn't be surprised if we have real surviving the game, Running Man type shit, Squid Games. And I just saw the news story the other day when I went online in fucking Bahrain. They're doing that right now, but without killing. They're going to have a real life Squid Game, but without killing in Bahrain.
Bahrain? Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
People are getting influenced by this shit. They're going to have an actual Squid Game in the Middle East, bro.
I'm okay with that as far as it's transparent. like, you know, nobody gets hurt, so to speak. Yeah. Because I mean, think about it.
We never know in a third world country, but like with just crazy people and just, you know, the rich, the elite, something could go down. I mean, that's what's kind of scary about this kind of shit. Is like this shit will get into these crazy folks, and you know, it could be. I mean, we're I don't want to take it away from this because it's teaching on this kind of conversation that has to happen of wealth and you know what I'm saying. And
conceptually, you know, game to the death. Game like this, high stakes, it's nothing new. Running Man, like you had mentioned, Hunger Games, Battle Royale. Like, I mean, I'm not worried about introducing a new concept. I do like the mental exercise, like you were saying, the preppers. I think about it all the time. I would just like, it's like Batman. I'm just preparing, you know. Hey, I'm not saying zombies per se, but shit hits the fan. Like
I think that's important. You have to have some street smarts to you,
right?
But just there's separating the people that are educated in reality and the mental cases that are out there.
And you know what? What's crazy is if shit does hit the fan, the mental cases are the ones that are like, well, been waiting for it. I'm prepared. And it's the educated ones like us who are like, I mean, I know what to do, but I like fuck. Yeah.
Anyway, that's total sidetracked from this show, man. But I think it's a great show. But it's because it speaks on these kind of subjects that we don't speak up enough on.
Yeah. There's a lot of social issues that it talks about. So first of all, the overarching storyline of people are just in debt, especially like here in America, but in Korea, apparently it's daunting. And then you look at both the main character and the buddy from National University. They keeps on bragging about the guy that ends up being an asshole.
Yeah.
Both of their parents are working well past retirement age. Because I think they're late 40s, early 50s, and their moms must be, let's say, at least 20 years older than that. So they're 70 something years old, working like a dog. I think there's that. There's the Pakistani guy.
Hurt, man. When Moms was for the lead character, when making all that food, and he was just like being an asshole, stole her credit card, and the hashtag spoilers, everybody. But you should have already seen this by now.
Yeah.
But
how about this? Before the spoilers, great series. Thumbs up. Watch it if you have it.
Yeah. Because I want to talk
on
shit. I want to talk on some shit about this, bro.
Go for it.
But like, you know what I'm saying? Just a dick of a guy. You know what I'm saying? And
self-absorbed.
And then has a daughter that, you know, he gave him a fucking gun. You know, just wasted his last penny. Moms was telling him, just made me so upset. You know, and then it made sense at the very end what the decision he would make at the very end of the film. But like, fuck. But then you like the guy throughout the series. He survives, right?
Because
it's such a dick, though. But we know grandmothers like that, you know, that take care and give you your last penny and just, you know, fuck this guy, man. Not redeeming in character. But then he tried to do his best with his daughter. But yeah, I didn't like the guy.
It was very strange to me. He was like, you know, what do they call it? A 3-time loser. Like he's a loser, self-centered, self-absorbed. But just like right off the bat, when he gets there, he becomes very caring, very, you know, looking out for the old guy from square one.
Yeah,
there was
interesting. That change up.
It was very difficult for me to follow along with that in that regard, because also Severin, like you're robbing your mom for thousands of dollars to gamble and you lose it, knowing that you already are in debt, and then take out more debt. And then literally a day later, you're looking out for the old guy. It was, I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't follow the transition.
Yeah. It didn't give enough transition. Like, so there's certain parts of it that just didn't make any sense, but just like not really redeemable of a character.
At the beginning,
a lot of these characters you didn't like. The only guy I could really like was what is the Pakistani character's name? He's
Ali.
All he did was try and help. You know, Ali Abdul.
Which
you know,
and then
the Jung Hyun Kang Sai Book, the who I found out was a model and, you know, gorgeous, but the young lady who the third one at the end of the three, but then the other girl, you know, sacrificed for her. I felt for her, you know.
Well, I mean, I think that
had the little younger brother, you know,
every character is talking about a social issue in Korea.
Yeah.
Ali, the illegal immigrant, migrant worker, like that issue. The model that you're just talking about, like defecting people from North Korea and that struggle. You know, each character is a social commentary, which if you weren't looking for it, you would have just assumed it's another character.
But such great characters that you feel endeared to, but like the lead character, you know, you get close to him, but then at the end, let's talk on it. The very end of the he's should begin on that fucking plane to go take care of his daughter. You know, you thought he learned his lesson. He didn't spend any of the money. Go to the States, make a better life for yourself, but decides to turn around and take the call and go back into the Squid Games. I was irate.
Yeah,
but then it made sense though. That's just how he's always been. If we go back to the game episode 1, he's a gambling. He's an addict.
Yeah.
But fuck, if you should have, you know, like all of that death, all of what you've been through, years. Come on.
You finally won.
Yeah.
You are a 3-time loser and you won for the first time, and you won huge.
Yeah. And you turned around. I was so mad.
What do you think about him cutting his hair and dyeing it red? What are your thoughts on that symbolically?
I didn't think on that too much. Tell me. Explain.
Okay. So my thought is, I'm kind of wrestling with this generally, right? It's a visual that he's changed characters, right? He goes from kind of, you know, just regular normal black hair, graying, unkept, to something very clean but red, something outrageous. Remember, he's like almost 50 years old and he's got red hair, to symbolize the change. but also to remind himself that he has blood on his hands. Because if it wasn't for all of the deaths, he wouldn't be in the situation. To a constant reminder, like he is here because of people has shed blood. Also, because he goes back, or we assume that he's going back into the game, he is no longer a player in green. He is now a player in red.
Interesting.
No? Am I stretching?
I didn't think about it like that.
There's no red anywhere in the whole series except for the men in red, and then when he dies, his hair red.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem to be by accident.
I didn't think about that at all. I didn't lay. I was so upset about just turning around it. Yeah, because I'm a father. You know.
Yeah.
Like, go take care of your fucking daughter, dude. Like, you lasted. Just everything you went through. I want to talk about another thing that kind of surprised me.
Sure, go.
I was pissed off. What was the Gongju episode or whatever, if I'm pronouncing it, episode 6 or whatever, when we lost Ali, we lost the other young girl, we thought we lost the old man, but yet the old man turns out to be behind everything. What did you think about that, dude? I was kind of like, oh shit, good twist.
Great twist.
I was like, I like the old man, you know. We thought he was like, hey, he's dying. This is his last go at it before he dies. And all of a sudden, holy shit, the man's behind everything.
Yeah. I mean, such an asshole at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, you literally set up a death bath, you know, like a murder spree for your entertainment while you are there watching it, while you are there knowing that you're going to be fine. Super dick move.
Yeah. Like, I was like conflicted again. I was about the old man. Yeah. I was cheering for the old man in the Kang Sai-byuk, the young lady, and Ali. They got taken out. And then here, you know, what the fuck? This man did all this?
And he's been doing it. He's been doing it for years. Like that.
Yeah.
Again, we are conflicted because we like the character, but yet he is the monster.
He's the monster. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
Did it fuck you up, man?
It did, but it kind of like
thoughts when that revealed in the episode.
I was torn because it's like, oh, you like the guy, right? I mean, the whole objective of the middle episodes is to fall in love with this old man.
Yeah. And then when they revealed it, you were like, were you pissed off?
Again, it was conflicted because it kind of just, it didn't really punch the way it should. And I think that some people who are just watching it just go, oh, it's the old man. Like it doesn't connect the dots visually. Like, oh, you are literally the horrific person in this series. And then he dies and then you feel bad for him, or we're led to feel bad for him. But this isn't his first rodeo. There's years, records of him doing this and watching. And now he wants to, because he's dying, he wants to watch it firsthand. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. I got mad. Like, I got mad at him, and then I got mad at the lead dude for turning his back instead of just leaving.
I thought it was dope when Storm Shadow popped up, though.
That was. I'm wondering how many white people understood that, though, that reference, or him. You know?
Yeah. Nobody at my work. Nobody at my work did. Everyone was like, Storm Shadow. I was like,
yeah, they didn't watch the first G.I. Joes.
Yeah. Like,
or I See the Devil and all his other great films.
Yeah. I think the thing is, like, Storm Shadow was the only redeeming portion of any of those first G.I. Joe movies. And the fact they replaced him in the new Snake Eyes movie bothered me.
Yeah. But did he miss? I don't think he missed out on anything with this.
No, but still, I'm saying you need a redeeming quality.
Yeah. But
I think just like Parasite, there's a lot of layers, a lot of social commentary, a lot of visual things that we as Americans just aren't trained to see.
Yeah. Were you cheering on anyone in particular too before, you know, obviously we learned later their fates? Did you have like early favorites?
Um,
Like, did you feel for Ali? Did you feel for the young lady Kang Sai-byuk?
yeah, because she's hot. And
Yeah.
then she showed a midsection. I was like, oh, she got ass. Okay, my bad. Ali, I knew was gonna get screwed over, and
Yeah.
it was just a matter of I couldn't figure out who was gonna screw him over. And then going into the second game, I knew that the guy, the smart guy, the embezzler, he was gonna fuck people over.
Dude with the snake tattoo, the crazy girl.
They never changed, and I think that was great because they never changed their character until the very end. Well, no, the gangster never changed his character. The chick that killed him didn't change her character until the very, very end, which I thought was pretty dope.
Yeah.
You know, she was very much out for herself.
Yeah.
Ali, I knew was going to get screwed over, so it wasn't a surprise. I just couldn't figure out when it was going to happen. I don't know. I guess I was all about the main character. But I think that's my default. Like, okay, that's the hero. So let's see where this journey goes.
Yeah. Great cast of characters. I think you felt in different ways for different characters, and I think great twist with the old man because I felt endeared to him. He's dying. Yeah. And then you fucking flip it on us. Now I hate the guy. Like,
right.
You know, and then then the lead, he was always kind of a dick, but you felt him like he was redeeming himself. But then it just you get us back at the very end of the series, like, fuck this guy, man. Ugh. But it was a good series, man. And we talked about, the challenges during our weekly show. I don't think I would have lasted at the very onset with the dude. And there's a bunch of memes now. I would love to be punched or smacked by the one guy. I forgot the actor, but he's now being a heartthrob. Everybody loves him.
He's the main character from Train to Busan.
That's who he was in.
Yeah,
I couldn't recall. He did look familiar.
Yeah,
but like everybody's like, I wouldn't mind being smacked by him. Y'all are some crazy wild sex people. I wouldn't have lasted. I would have hit the fuck out that dude. But like,
right,
yeah, that whole paper game, I don't think I would have stayed on. Like, I'm done. But if I was in the game, if I would have made it into the game, I think I would have lasted the red light, green light. I would hope I would have lasted red light, green light. But then I think the next game would have taken me out. It
was Tug of War.
Was it the Tug of War?
It was Tug of War
right after that.
Yeah.
And my team was right. Yeah. That would have been interesting.
But that's like all easy games. Like those. Could you imagine if there was like American games? Your first game was dodgeball. Shit. And instead of like every time you got out, you just got shot. Like that would be horrific. Or
ball of acid.
Yeah. Double Dutch.
Acid. You're dead.
Could you imagine Double Dutch? You just walk in and two people are like, okay, here we go. Like, I don't even know the
razor wire head cut off.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, I got to know the nursery rhyme. Like, fuck.
Yeah, right.
Engine number 9.
Or watch them do an American version of the shit, which we already know that's what they do. They're gonna take from it.
I think I said that when we were talking about it not today, but it was like, I can't wait for them to do the remake of that. I think, I missed it. The police officer, I saw that he got shot.
Yeah.
But what happened to him at the end?
He's dead. Like that kind of like went nowhere, which kind of annoyed me. But apparently I think when we get the reveal of Storm Shadow.
Yep.
Wasn't he their brothers?
Yeah, they're brothers. He's only there looking for him. And that brother, Storm Shadow, ended up winning like the year before or something. So he won. Yeah.
I missed that. So the brother who's now the front man was the winner and now became the overseer?
Yes.
The old man?
Oh, no. No. So the old take the old man out of that equation. Okay. The cop is looking for his brother.
Yes.
And then ends up finding, that's how he's on the island.
Yes.
The brother was a past winner, and that's why I'm assuming is why he's the front man. But his brother is the front man who is a past winner. You find the reveal when the cop is going through the paperwork.
Oh, okay.
And then we didn't realize that he was the front man until the reveal. And then that's when they had this conversation. And he shoots the front man in the shoulder, and the front man shoots him in the shoulder. And then I think the last thing I saw was like they were looking at each other in a locker room or something. And I couldn't remember if the cop died.
Yeah, the cop. Well, he kills the cop, kills him. Dies because frontman shoots him on the cliff when they do the reveal. He falls into the water.
Oh,
yeah, he falls straight back because he's right on the side of the cliff.
Right.
About jumping, but turns around and he's like, "I'm gonna shoot you," and then he takes off his mask. Reveal, shots,
and then he falls off the cliff.
Falls off the cliff.
Okay, because I thought I saw him one more at the time.
No. But so I didn't realize though that the cop brother was the front man. Was a previous winner. That's what you just schooled me on. But then
do you remember
the right hand man for the old man,
which they didn't really explain?
Yeah. Now it's all making sense. It's making sense, but they didn't really. It wasn't clear. At least
it's the names, and it's just because we're American. Like the names all kind of just merged together. But when he was going through the filing cabinets and everything like that, he found his brother's name, found it, and he was a past winner. Okay. I mean, Hunger Games Battle Royale, it's similar, but I definitely enjoyed it. The visuals were great. The story arcs were great. A lot of emotions. I recommend.
Hell yeah, totally recommend. Yeah, the artistic style of it was bonkers. The different areas, the settings, the sets, I think they really did some amazing from a filmmaking standpoint, visually grabbed me. And then because I do the cosplay convention show circuit, there's gonna be so many cosplays of all these costumes. Shout out to my boy Canvas Cosplay. He already did the pink costume of the what do you call the frontman's troops? With the triangles and the pink costumes. I don't know if they gave them names to the troops.
I think they were red, right? I thought they were red.
Were they called red or the people?
I don't know.
I think they were pink though. The costumes were pink costumes.
I thought they were red.
Maybe that's the settings on my but I could have swore they were pink. And then they were wearing green, the regular people wearing green costumes. Yeah.
So there was a theory where when they were playing the first game in the subway, the guy in the suit, depending on which color you chose would dictate which. If you chose the blue, you were going to be a player. If you chose the red, you were.
Yeah. But it was pink though. I think you need to check the settings on your.
Okay, was it pink?
I think it was pink and green where the colors. Yeah, and because I heard that same theory. Like your settings on your colors.
Hey, I watch everything off my laptop, and I won't say why, because I don't own a TV. That's why.
It's all good. So man, a great series, visually stunning, stories that speak on subjects we need to talk on more, and the disparity of the rich and the poor. It's a great show, but it's weird to say it's a great show when it's about such I think subjects, man.
Yeah, but that's what a good show does, right?
Yeah,
it creates discourse.
Yeah, exactly.
And just being able and the better the show put together from all aspects will give you different layers where it will attract more people to come to this conversation.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, great. Hooray. What are we watching next?
Well, hopefully Infernal Affairs, and then that crazy one that we have to watch.
Have you started watching it?
No, not yet.
It's I will say
that's when you want to take in chunks, right?
Yeah, I mean, I started watching it. I'm maybe 45 minutes into it, and it's
okay.
It's it for me, it's a lot of religious commentary.
Okay.
That's really, I mean, I'm sure there's more to it, but basically it's just talks about religion basically, and there's no words, at least not the first half hour, 45 minutes. There's no words. Oh, hold on 1 second, I'm dead. Fuck.
I hear you, but you're frozen.
Give me a second, just hold on. You how do I change my
So as you can see, technical difficulties, y'all. We're living in Zoom pandemic times. This is how we communicate. But my brother will be back on in just a second. Crazy times, but we're right there at the end. There he is. Squid Games, a crazy show. Yeah,
Different camera.
there we go. Let's get up out of here, Lloyd.
Okay.
It's been a fun one, man. Always a pleasure talking to you, though. But
You got
Squid Games. I'm happy we both saw it kind of as a fluke, and we could have that as a subject for one of these episodes. Because yeah, I was looking forward to having some convo with some friends that checked it out. Because we didn't slate it as a review for the channel, so I'm happy we were able to talk.
Crazy,
yeah,
crazy. That
Crazy
you would
show,
think
man.
you would think that would be right up our alley. Like that would be
Right?
the thing, right?
Yeah.
Because it's way better than Raised by Wolves.
Hell yeah.
Hey, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, there's reviews somewhere of us talking
we
about
did at least a couple episodes. It was Glenn Lawrence, man. I blame Glenn Lawrence.
fucking horrific. Kuya P,
Lloyd.
cool question.
What up, brother?
How can people find you?
Oh, me, the legend Kuya P on Twitter, TikTok, and IG, over at the Nerds of Color, and of course at Show Pal Show, and here at the NRW and at Release Wednesday, where nerds rule the world, where we give you the Kuya and the Kid.
And then what you got what's coming up for you?
A
what are you
lot of
promoing?
interviews are coming to the channel. Too many to count because I'm just overloaded with that. I like to keep myself busy because even further success and even further opportunities happens when I'm busy. So that's why I do it. It's an addiction, which is why if that was a Squid Game, I would win. But what you can't look forward to me, let me start hyping this up.
Let's do it.
Because I'm trying to boost myself as an actor more. I have this week, as of this recording, when this is out, a benefit that I'm doing with the Filipinx Actors of Arcata. It's called Halloween, which will benefit SIPA and I think FANS, the Philippine American National Historical Society. But we're taking classic horror films, classic horror scenes, and turning it very Filipino. And I wrote a piece called The Filipino Exorcist, where I'm having fun as Kuya Rani. So check that out. Check out that benefit. And it will be on the YouTube channel as well. I'll have it on the NRW, just like I did the last benefit we did. So it'll be in the Show Pal Show playlist once we're done with it, outside of the live Zoom performance. And on Netflix, Don't Look Up. I'm back acting again, and I'm there with Leo, Jennifer Lawrence, Meryl Streep, Tyler Perry, everybody. My first big line gig, role gig in a film in a long time. So
That's phenomenal.
There you go.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
And
brother.
you
How
guys
can they
can
find you,
me
Lloyd?
Lloyd Lee Comedy everywhere. Just Google Lloyd Lee Comedy. Whatever you are on, whatever thing you do, Lloyd Lee Comedy, LOYLEE Comedy. But also here is the full list: Short, Pale, and Handsome. I'm gonna get in trouble. Nerds Rule the World. Kuya and the Kid, and the Edwin San Juan Show, which is coming back as we're working on that as well. Find me, come get me.
Yeah, when's the comedy special that you produced with Edwin dropping?
November 9th. That
My birthday.
Yeah, hooray.
Coming on my birthday.
So it'll be out. He's put a lot of time, a lot of effort in it, and I'm trying to help him on the back end, put stuff together and hype it up and stuff like that. So
Let's book that Show Pal Show interview. Let's book that.
Let's book it. I'll book it. Well, I'm talking to him tonight, so let's sort that out.
I'll make myself available.
Cool. All right, guys. Love you guys. Bye.
Another Kuya and the Kid. Until next time, we'll come back with Infernal Affairs and that other crazy film that we'll watch and plenty more. And let us know what else we should see in the comments. There you go. All right, brother. Love you, man.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Deuces. All right.
Always